Hi students, welcome to plus 1 computer class. So we already completed our chapter string handling and IO function. So in the previous video we discussed about the console functions, stream functions, getchar, putchar and also all the input stream function. That means get and getLine, then output stream function, put and write function. So all these functions we completed. Actually string, if we are dealing with string, then you want to use some kinds of special functions. Okay, that means predefined function. You don't want to do any kinds of, that means extra information to the program, because the entire information is already available in that particular header file itself. So when we are including console function, you want to include cstdio header file, standard input output function. If you are using normal stream function, then you don't want to include any header file, because IO stream contains all the information relating to string functions. Okay, then in this chapter we are going to discuss a new chapter, that is functions, or chapter 10. Then in concept, okay, actually we are beginning the function, so we will discuss about the concept of modular programming and merits and demerits of modular programming, and also we will discuss what is meant by a function in C++ and also predefined functions in C++. Okay, so what is our chapter name? Functions. Our chapter name is functions. Actually function means it's a set of instructions to execute a particular operations. So that is the definition of a function. Actually function means these are set of instructions to execute a particular function. Actually C++ is an object, or C++ uses object oriented concept, object oriented programming concept. Object oriented programming concept means in C++ programming we are giving importance to particular object or data. Example, we already studied some of the C++ program. In all that program, the entire execution is based on the variable that we are using. Okay, if it is a string variable, you want to declare the variable, and also proper input and output operation should be present for that particular variable. Okay, so every program we are giving importance to data. The importance to data, that's why data is undervalued. In some of the terms, data is, that means the valuable piece for your program should be data or variable. Okay, then. So we know how to declare a normal variable, and we know how to execute some of the string functions and to operate strings, what we want to do, and what is the importance of arrays. If you want to represent group of characters, then you want to use the concept arrays. Okay, that we already know. Then next concept is, suppose you want to execute a mathematical expression x square plus y square divided by square root of x plus square root of y. Suppose you want to solve this mathematical expression. Okay, this is the expression. In this expression we are using two variables, x and y. So first, we can write a step-by-step procedure for this. What will be the first step? You want to find the square root, you want to find the square of x. That means what will be the first one? Find the power of x. Okay, what do you want to execute? You want to find the second power of x. Then again you want to again find the second or square of y. Okay, so suppose instead of 2, if here it is 5, then what do you want to find out? You want to find out the fifth power of x. Then instead of 7, if here it is 7, then you want to find out the 7th power of x. Okay, then after that square root of x. Okay, then after that add 2, you want to add the first two expression x plus y. That means you want to find the sum of x raised to 5 plus y raised to 7. Then after that You want to find out the square root of x, then square root of y, then you want to add the two square roots together, then after that you want to multiply, you want to divide the first value by second value. So that means it is a complex program. Complex program means you want to execute so many mathematical function. So 2 times you want to find the power, then after that you want to add, then after that you want to find two variables square root, then again you want to add, then after that we are dividing the first value by second value. So actually it is a very complex program. Suppose you want to write a C++ program for this, it will be very complicated program. Actually to find the fifth power of x, actually it is very easy, but how we will find the square root of x? Okay, if you are using mathematical, that means for a human it will be easy process, but if you are converting it into program, it is not an easy task. Okay, so if you get a complex program like this, you want to divide that complex program into small sub-programs. Okay, if we are getting a complex problem, that problem is dividing into small sub-problems. That sub-problems are known as modules. That sub-programs are known as modules. Large program dividing into small sub-programs. So that small sub-programs are known as modules. Then that dividing a problem into small sub-modules are known as modular programming. Modular programming. Okay, modular programming. So C++ implement modular programming through functions. Okay, what is the second statement? C++ implement modular programming through functions. Okay, C++ implements modular programming through function. So normally functions are used for executing modular programming. Actually it is one of the important aspects of object oriented programming, or it is one of the concept of object oriented programming, because C++ is an object oriented programming language. In object oriented concept we are using modular programming concept. Modular programming means large program dividing into small programs or small sub-programs. That sub-programs are known as modules. Okay, so modules mean both are independent. Then, so we can execute, for example, square root to one module, then again power to another module. So the first module will execute the square root function and it will extract the square root of that particular variable. Second function to find the power of. That means all these working are independent, or all these work are separate. Okay, at the final stage we are combining all these modules together and we can make a final program. So that is a speciality of modular programming. So normally modular programming is used to reduce the program complexity. Then next one we are going to discuss the advantages or merits and demerits of modular programming. Okay, what is it? Merits of modular programming. The first merit is less chance for errors. Less chance for errors, because large program we are dividing into small sub-programs and all that sub-programs is working separately. So there will be less chance of errors, or error or fault tolerance is easy. Okay, we are not compiling the entire program, we are compiling it separately. So we can easily identify the error and there will be chance of less chance for errors. Then second one, it's one of the main advantage, reduces the program complexity. Reduces program complexity. Reduces the program complexity. So we are reducing the complexity of program that I already mentioned, large program dividing into small sub-programs. So, the execution and the statement wise declaration, everything will be easy. Okay. Then third one, reusability. Reusability, or we can improve reusability. That means if you prepared a code using function or modular programming, we can reuse the code again and again. That is known as reusability. We can reuse the program code again and again, or suppose we need that code, then we can use it because all the codes are separate. Okay. So, these are the three types of merits or three merits of modular programming. The first merit or the first advantage is less chance for error. Second one, it produces the program complexity, and third one, reusability. We can reuse the program code. Okay. Then next one, if merit is present, then definitely demerits also will be present. So, the demerit is actually modular programming indicate dividing program into small subprogram. If the proper clarification or proper division is not present, or proper large program, or suppose we are not dividing the program properly, okay, not properly, or if any kinds of mistake in the division, it will affect the program. Okay, so when we are splitting the program, you need to be more careful, because if any mistake in the splitting, then it will reflect in the entire program. Okay, so that you want to keep in your mind. When you are splitting a large program into small program, you will be more careful, because if any mistake in the splitting criteria, it will affect the final result. So, that is the demerit of modular programming. Okay. So, modularity, C++ implement modular programming through functions. Clear? Then next one, what is mean by functions in C++? Functions in C++. Okay. So, with the help of an example, I will explain the functions of C++. In your textbook, there is one figure is present. In page number 275, there is one picture present, that means functioning of a coffee making machine. Okay, coffee machine picture is already present. Actually, it is a real life example. You want to make coffee, there will be one machine present. Okay, there is one machine present. Then let us consider the case of a coffee making machine and discuss its functioning based on figure 10.2. Then what are the ingredients or what are the inputs required for that machine? It requires water, then milk, sugar and coffee powder. Okay, so these are the inputs. Okay, inputs for that machine. Okay, so these are the ingredients for a coffee. So we can add water, milk, sugar and also coffee powder. Then all these inputs are essential. Yes, we can avoid milk, no? Yes, if you don't want, if you want black coffee, then you can avoid milk. Then if you are a sugar patient, then you can avoid sugar also. So that means these are the 4 inputs that we can, that means these are not essential, but coffee powder is essential and water also essential. Without this, the machine will not function. Okay. Then, so what, for which function we are using that machine? Making coffee. So what is our function name or that machine's function name? Coffee, making coffee. That is our function name. So after the execution or when the machine is working, definitely we will get one output. Okay, if we are adding water, sugar, comma, coffee powder, we will get output, no? Yes, we will get output as black coffee. Okay, isn't it? We will get the result. Okay, actually this is the output. Actually it consists of 4 input, but we are not utilizing all that 4 input. According to the user's choice, we can change the inputs. Clear? So that is the speciality of a function. So any kinds of machine we can treat as a function in C++. According to the user's choice, we can change the number of inputs. Then one more function is present. Suppose I want to add numbers. Then here I am using a function called add function. Then I can add 2 numbers, 3, 4. Then using this we can add 2 numbers. Can I increase the numbers? Yes. Instead of 2 number I can give 3 number, 4 number, I can give fractional numbers, anything I can give, but the function remains same. What is that function? Adding the numbers. Okay. So that is the speciality of function. Functions are used to execute. We can say that function is a named unit of statement in a program to perform a specified task as a part of solution. So the definition of function is, it is used to execute a particular or a task using set of operations. So this is a real life example for function, and also one more example, add function. Using add function we can add 2 numbers, 3 numbers, 4 numbers, 4 number addition, 2 number addition, 3 number addition, anything we can perform. That is according to the user. Clear? Then next one, functions in C++ can be divided into 2 categories. Okay, first one is pre-defined function, second one user defined functions. Functions in C++ can be divided into 2 categories, predefined function and user defined function. Predefined function or compiler defined function. You don't want to write the function definition and the number of variables, arguments, you don't want to specify the data type. Everything already defined, predefined by the compiler. For example, cstdio header file. In the previous video, we already included cstdio header file in the program. For including console functions like gets function and puts function, we are using cstdio header file. So when we include that particular header file, compiler will automatically identify gets function and puts function. You don't want to write the definition or meaning to the compiler because it's already identified by the compiler. That means it is already predefined. Okay, that kind of function belonging to predefined function category, predefined function or compiler defined function. Then second one is user defined function. User defined function is, suppose example, coffee machine. Okay, we return coffee machine. In that coffee machine we can input 4 input. Then according to the user's choice, instead of 4 we can write 3. Okay, that means it is not predefined. According to the user's choice we are specifying. Example, add function also. We can add integer number and also we can add floating point number, all because of user's choice. That kind of functions are known as user defined function. Okay, so in this chapter we will discuss predefined and also user defined function. So first we will discuss about predefined function. Predefined function means we can classify predefined functions into different categories. First category is string functions. We will discuss all the string functions that we are using in C++ program. All the that means the important string functions. Then if you want to execute mathematical problem, then mathematical function, then character function, input output manipulating function, these all are belonging to predefined category. After that, user defined. User defined data type or user defined data type that we already studied as a classification of data type, user defined data type. Same as user defined function also will be present. In plus 2 you want to study two more languages called JavaScript and also PHP. In JavaScript and also in PHP we are using user defined function. So it's very important, user defined function. In user defined function we are focusing on programs. But in predefined you want to study the function name along with the syntax, that is enough. Okay, clear. So this is functions in C++. Functions in C++ can be classified into two categories, predefined function and user defined function. Predefined function also known as compiler defined function. Then some of the commonly used predefined function we will discuss in the next video. First we will discuss about string function. Some of them we already studied, but some other also you want to study. Okay, clear. So actually this is an introduction to function. The remaining section we will discuss next video. Then again we will revise the topics that we studied. First one we started with functions. What is meant by a function? How C++ is implementing function. C++ implementing function using modular programming. So what is meant by modular programming? Large program dividing into small subprograms, and that subprograms are known as modules. C++ implement modules or modular programming through function. And also we discussed the merits of modular programming. Less chance for error, then reducing the program complexity, then reusability. Then demerit. If proper splitting is not present, then it will affect the final result. Then after that we just started function. What does mean by functions in C++ and also the classification of functions, predefined function and user defined functions. Okay. Then you want to write some of the question in your notebook, that means you want to specify the merits and demerits of modular programming. Okay, so we just started the function, the importance of functions in C++ programming. That means in the next video we will discuss about the predefined string functions. Okay, then thank you.